Today we're going to be looking at how to build a filtered spray booth at home. For me, it has been absolutely awesome. So today I'm just doing a quick video on a spray booth setup that I use at home. It always frustrated me that I wasn't able to spray at home because I was concerned about overspray and stuff ending up on things that it shouldn't be on. Came up with this idea and it's been fantastic. So during this video, I'm going to be doing a boat grind out. It's a really good way to actually see the performance of this and how much it filters out. During the video also, we'll look at how to make one of these. It's very simple and it's been absolute gold. Obviously, if I'm doing spray painting, I won't be using this setup on the grass. I'll wet down the driveway, make sure to remove as much dust as I can, then go for it. As for like fiberglass dust and stuff like that, this thing's fine on the grass, and it's so awesome, catches everything it seems. So fantastic. All right, so I'm about to do the grind out on the inside of this boat, and the last thing you want to do is have all fiberglass running up in the air. So what I do is I've got a shade tent, put sides on it, and I've made up a big filter. This is probably, I don't know, 1.3 meters high, about 1 meter wide, and it's got a couple of layers of tontine in it. I use it for spraying and everything. And on the other side of it, just got a big, and that's probably 3-foot commercial extraction fan, which just pulls the air through. Pulls a lot of air through actually. This shade tent, all air will just come through the front, and all the glass fibers will just go straight into this filter. And then sprayed, white, red, black boats, and it's pretty much ready for a filter change. So I will get the glass into it, and whilst I'm masked up and stuff, I will empty that out and chuck it out. Anyway, grind off all of this gel coat so I can start laying a few more layers of glass and stuff in the midst of this. There you go, so I've just turned that on. All the sides of this tent are bellied in because it's a vacuum in here now. I know I'm doing a grind out here, but when you are spraying with this setup, it's just so awesome having all the overspray just run straight into that filter and not back on your job. So if you're considering making one of these extraction filters, it's been absolute gold for me. I originally made it for spray painting and just catching overspray, making sure that none of that overspray is going to end up in the environment and go on cars and cause a mess with all that sort of stuff. So it's relatively easy to make one of these. So let's have a look at it. So it's basically a plywood box. Very easy to make and knock up and cheap. That's just a gusset in the center with some holes in it so that air can flow through. Got 2 layers of mesh. I think it's about 75 mil by 50 mil, so 3 inches by 2 inches. And 1 layer on the back of aluminium fly screen, which is stapled. I bent a little corner on it and stapled it to the box. So just unscrewed that front a bit so you can see that mesh there. So it's just bent up, and I've just stapled the sides of that aluminium fly screen on the inside. The inside layer of mesh just has some little cleats which hold it there. And the outside layer, I actually welded up a, panel to hold that. I mean, you could really use anything. You'd sort of have this panel between, 2 bits of, another timber and just screw it together or something like that. It doesn't need to be too elaborate. The main thing is that you just want this gap here for the 2 layers of tontine to, act as the filter medium. So I have about 15 millimeters 1.5 centimeters between that back mesh and the front mesh. So I'm just doing this on the side, not going all the way, just as an example so you can see how it works. But you got 2 layers there, and I have my screw hole here. Whatever front mesh you have, whether it's just another block of timber holding it on, that's fine. So I'll just screw that like that, and it will crush and hold nicely there. And then, yeah, in between the back mesh and the front mesh, that tontine is held nicely. And I can just Stanley knife this off after. Obviously you've got to cover the whole filter front. But yeah, so that's how it works. Don't try and just stop in here, let it come up behind the frame, whatever frame you have, so it can, yeah, crush it and hold it where it needs to stay. While I was making this, I made sure to leave this lip on the face so that I could clip, you know, the plastic sheeting to that, so that I could sort of seal up the spray booth, as it were. So we'll have a look at the back of this filter box. We'll get a few measurements on it, and we'll also have a look at the fan. So obviously that fan there gets connected to that and pulls air through. Let's get some measurements on this. So the width of the box is about 930 millimeters, 930 millimeters. And the height of the box, 1225. The depth is about 195. And I've left about a 40 millimeter lip right the way around that box so that you can clip whatever size shade tent you or tent setup you have. You can clip some plastic onto that and seal up your tent. Yeah, so basically that hole there correlates to the size of this, and I've put a few layers of cheap foam on there, just builder's sponge. So that goes normally in between the edge of a slab or something, concrete slab, and a wall. It's already got, peel that off and it's a sticker. So it's very, very easy to use. I just cut it into strips and stuck it on there so that the fan is nice and sealed on the back of this filter box. The fan itself, there's plenty of brands you can get, but that's the one I've got, Dynabreeze. Pretty sure I got this one from Bunnings, and it was about $220. And that's been gold. I set that to high. Obviously, when I'm using this, I just want as much air being pulled through this as possible. The way I have this fan connected to the filter box is I just unscrewed this mesh on the front and put a few little tabs on it so that I can screw this straight to the box. So inside this box, again, you don't have to go as elaborate as having, you know, all this aluminium stuff in there. You could just do it all out of timber. I just did this to hold that inside mesh. The main thing you need is these 2 layers of mesh with the tontine squished between it, just to hold the filter medium. Just a quick look around. Yeah, so very, very easy to make one of these. Definitely worth your while. So I hope this video can help if you are thinking of doing something similar. All right, see you in the next one. Cheers.